Hi everyone, and welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is your next win. So what's the next big achievement, big accomplishment, big victory that you have coming in your life? There are 4 piles to choose from. I suggest selecting the pile that sparks a memory in you. So for example, I would choose pile 4, the 6 of Wands, because I actually spent like an hour this morning looking at different wreaths to buy for my front door, and there's a wreath on this card. So I will put the timestamps in the description down below. Feel free to pause the video now to select your pile, and let's get started. If you selected pile 1, the 5 of Swords, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 2 of Swords, the Page of Cups in reverse, the 10 of Swords, Death, and the 6 of Pentacles. For your Goddess Guidance cards, we got Freya and Nematona. All right, my pile ones. So what is your next win? We start off your spread with this 2 of Swords, and immediately what I'm hearing is that for a lot of you, you have been hesitant to open yourself up to a certain possibility, or hesitant to talk about something that you've been desiring, something that you've been working towards. You've been a little closed off about it. The 2 of Swords is a card of stagnation. It's indecision. It's refusing to kind of open up out of fear of selecting the wrong thing or moving the wrong way or opening yourself up to vulnerability. Because in the Suit of Swords, the card that follows the 2 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, is a card of heartbreak. And 2 of Swords, you might be protecting yourself from knowing the thing that will cause your heartbreak, but ultimately you also are not allowing yourself to experience the good that could potentially happen. And so what specifically is this about in your life? The next 2 cards we have here are this Page of Cups in reverse and this 10 of Swords. And so I'm feeling that this will resonate differently for a lot of the people watching this pile. For some of you, this Page of Cups in reverse indicates to me that perhaps you had a crush on someone, you were romantically attracted to someone, and they did not reciprocate that. Maybe you kind of put yourself out there and you felt rejected, or you felt like you feel like you are not making connections in the way that you want, which has been really upsetting, and it has caused you to revert back into this 2 of Swords energy of being closed off and not wanting to put yourself out there because you don't want to have to go through another rejection. For others of you, if that does not resonate, this could also be about making friends. It could also just be about sharing things that you are passionate about. So for example, let's say you like to make art in your free time and you wanted to show someone, and then when you showed them, they kind of insulted it, or they were just weird about it, or they downplayed it, and they were like, they did not have the reaction that you wanted, which was you wanted someone to be supportive and make you feel good about all the hard work and the passion that you put in. So I think that the people that are watching this pile will know which of those scenarios resonates with them. But either way, it does feel like you took some kind of risk in putting yourself out there and showing off your work and trying to gain recognition for all the effort that you've put in to something that you're passionate about, to something that you really hope and like, with this Page of Cups, which is a card about beauty and love and connection and the beauty in the world, not just physical beauty, but things like the arts, the occult. So for a lot of you, this, like I said, could be some kind of hobby that you've been really working towards, and you tried to show someone and they really downplayed it, or they didn't care. And because of that, you felt defeat. This 10 of Swords, which is a card of feeling like you've been stabbed over and over. So again, for a lot of you, this could be a specific person who really kind of damaged your level of self-esteem and your feeling of being secure and putting yourself out there. And that is why you tend to revert back to this 2 of Swords energy of wanting to be closed off in order to protect yourself. And while you can protect yourself by removing yourself from the world, you're also removing the possibility that someone out there will really appreciate you, or want to be your friend, or want to date you, or really think that you're the things that you are making, the things that you are doing, the things that you are passionate about are really amazing and cool and interesting. Because at the end of the day, you cannot please everyone. You can't control how other people feel about you, how they react to you, how they treat you. You can only manage your own reaction to the way that people treat you or how they feel about you. And that's a really difficult lesson to learn, because no one wants to feel rejected. But at the end of the day, someone's rejection of things that you are passionate about or rejection of you says more about them than it does about you. And it feels like with this death card next in your spread, you are taking this defeat, this feeling of having been stabbed in the back, this feeling of disappointment, and you are undergoing a transformation. That is what this death card is all about, is transformation. You are picking yourself up, you're turning your lemons into lemonade, and you're moving on from this feeling of dwelling on this fear of being betrayed again, because ultimately it's not serving you. It's going to continue holding you back and leaving you in a stagnant place unless you take that energy and allow yourself to grow. And sometimes growth can be painful, and I think that the rejection that you experienced was necessary in order for you to have this realization that you can pick yourself up and make your life what you make it, and you get to choose who is in your life, who gets access to these more vulnerable parts of you, who gets to see all of the work and the passion and all of these wonderful, amazing qualities that you have. And with the Six of Pentacles at the end of your spread, as you make this transition of deciding, actually, this person who hurt me in the past, this rejection, whatever this was, does not really have any material consequence on me anymore. Yes, it hurt emotionally, but there's nothing I can do about it now except move on. And I'm not going to let one person's rejection keep me from finding my, enthusiastic yes, from getting an enthusiastic yes from someone else. And so as you make that transition and you open yourself up to trying again and getting out there and finding a connection, finding a person to date, be friends with, finding people who share your passions, who are supportive of you, who are springboards of the kind of lifestyle that you want to have, you will be seeing success in that area of your life with the Six of Pentacles at the end of your spread, because the Six of Pentacles is a card that is all about generosity. So you go from people who are not being very fair to you, who reject you, who make you feel rejected, who don't see the value in what you have to offer, to people who not only see what value you have, but also want to reciprocate that. They want to support you. They want to be there for you. They want to be in your life. They want to continue to grow and build with you and help you when you're having feelings of self-doubt. They want to let you know that your talents, the things that you do for other people, the things that you do towards your passions are not unseen or unappreciated. And that will be really the next big win in your life, is coming to this realization and getting to a place where you do have the kind of support, the kind of connection that previously searching for it has left you so drained. And this is all really reflected in the pile marker that you selected, this Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is kind of a card of betrayal. It's a card of someone stabbing you in the back, someone kind of walking away from a situation, feeling victorious, even though what they did was not very fair to you. But the good news about the Five of Swords is that this person who betrayed you, it's always maybe they won the battle, but they never win the war, because their lack of concern for how they're coming across or how they're treating other people will not allow them to establish the kind of connections that I think the people in this pile really crave. The people who have hurt you, the people who downplayed your accomplishments, the people who betrayed you in the past, the people who rejected you, they will, until they figure out why it is that they approach people with a lack of tact, why they are quick to hurt people emotionally, they will continue to kind of repeat these cycles in the relationships, in the ways that they interact with other people, while you continue to walk away and grow. And you got to leave behind this person, this scenario, this situation that hurt you. I mean, with the death card here, you are leaving this behind. You're leaving behind this 10 of Swords feeling of defeat, and you're moving into this 6 of Pentacles feeling of abundance, of having people who really help you and see you for who you are and want to support you and watch you grow. So your first goddess guidance card is Freya, which says bold. Unleash your adventurous side, take risk, and be daring. So again, this is the universe really encouraging you to come out of this 2 of Swords energy, to embody the energy of the death card and remove these obstacles, this fear of experiencing rejection or defeat again that is holding you back from really expressing yourself or putting yourself out there. Because until you decide to open yourself up to the world, you might not experience defeat again, but you also won't be able to experience this really beautiful 6 of Pentacles energy. Your second goddess guidance card, Nemetona, is sacred space. Create an altar or visit a power place to connect with the divine. So Nemetona is a goddess who actually guards sacred spaces, and sacred spaces don't have to be physical. It can be something emotional. And I think that the advice that the universe is really trying to give you with this card is that it's natural to have fears of rejection or to kind of relive those feelings or kind of anticipate them if it's something that you've experienced in the past, which for this pile you have experienced with this Page of Cups in reverse and this 10 of Swords. But a good way to stop that fear from overtaking your passion, from outruling the desire to experience more, to connect more, is to remind yourself of how special it is that you have this desire for connection. How special it is that despite having been hurt, you still crave intimacy, you crave compassion, you crave friendship, you have this passion within you. And guarding that within yourself, reminding yourself that this is why I continue to do this. This is the spark that I have inside of me. And it's amazing that despite any setbacks, I still have this flame. And sometimes it might get a little dimmer, but it never fully goes out. It's always been there for me. And just remind yourself that you can continue growing it. All right, my pile ones, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 2, the 6 of Swords, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 4 of Pentacles, Strength, the High Priestess, the Hermit, and the 3 of Swords. For your goddess guidance cards, we got Mary Magdalene and Green Tara. All right, my pile 2s. So what is the next win in your life? We start off the spread with this 4 of Pentacles. And immediately what I'm hearing is that for a lot of you recently, you have withdrawn into yourself a little bit. You have kind of maybe been spending a lot of time by yourself, or you feel more protective of yourself because it feels like other people really try to drain your resources quite frequently. And what I'm getting from this is that for the majority of you watching this, you are very empathic people, and people just rely on you a lot as like an emotional buffer, an emotional vacuum, an emotional outlet. Basically, people come to you to kind of hear your advice or get comfort, get support. And for others of you, it's maybe similar to this line, but it's other forms of labor that you provide for people. So it could even be that maybe, for example, you are living in a household, maybe you have children, maybe you have a family, and there's really this expectation for you to do everything to make sure everyone else is fine, but nobody really stops to ask what help you might need, or nobody really cares to figure out if you need emotional support or if you have something on your mind. It feels like a lot of people maybe take advantage of these empathic or very giving, generous qualities that you have. And because of that, you've been feeling very drained. You've been feeling like you have to fight to hold on to like the one thing that you have for yourself, or the one piece of energy, the one time slot that you have for yourself. And that's not a place where you enjoy feeling, because it with this Four of Pentacles, it almost feels like a buildup of resentment of everyone wants all of these things for me. And I don't think that the people in this are resentful or passive aggressive people. I don't think you like feeling this way, but you also feel like, you're at a point where you cannot keep pouring from an empty cup, and you feel like no one else recognizes that, and you don't like the way that it's making you feel or making you act. So your next win is coming through with the Strength card. And strength is all about overcoming these qualities within ourselves that maybe in small doses are very good. They're very positive qualities, but can quickly kind of turn into things that are detrimental for us. And in this particular case, I think your desire to take care of other people and make sure that other people are comfortable, make sure that other people feel seen or heard, is a very positive quality to have. It's good to be an empathic person. It's good to be compassionate and caring and care about other people. But you have emphasized, you have magnified this specific aspect of your personality and who you are so much that it's gotten to the point where it's almost all people see in you is what support you can offer them, what you can do for them, what acts of service you can do for them. And at that point, you are doing so much for other people and taking care of other people so much emotionally, physically, that you are starting to neglect extending that same care to yourself. And so strength is about you recognizing that you have to take back some of that energy that you were giving to other people and put it toward yourself. You are learning to temper down that need to people please, that need to overextend yourself, and you are refocusing it into this High Priestess energy, this inner knowing, this feeling of inner peace, this feeling of reconnecting with your intuition, of reconnecting with your higher self, of feeling more at peace in your body. And that is also represented by this next card in your spread, which is the Hermit. And compared to this Four of Pentacles, like I said, this Four of Pentacles that's coming out in the beginning of your spread, it does feel like a need to kind of keep things to yourself and be alone, but it feels more resentful or more out of a necessity, or more like you have to fight tooth and nail to be that way. Whereas after overcoming this need to overextend yourself, after taking back your power and putting it back into yourself, you're entering this Hermit energy, which is also a feeling of retraction and pulling back and not giving as much, but it doesn't feel like you have to fight tooth and nail for it. The Hermit is someone who is happy to be alone. They're happy to have this level of self-reflection. They're happy to be at a place where they can reorient themselves and reconnect with who they are outside of what they do for other people. And I think that's really important for the people in this pile, because maybe you do feel reduced to what your role is in relation to other people right now. And I think that this is something that a lot of parents go through maybe, and especially women in particular. A lot of the times I think women can feel so much like, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a worker with my company, at my job, with my boss, I'm a friend to these people, but who are you to yourself? Are you also being a friend to yourself? Are you also being a mother to yourself? Are you also being a wife to yourself? Are you extending that same level of care and romance to yourself? Or are you, once again, pouring from an empty cup to make sure everyone else is comfortable and not thinking about how this is your life too, and you're allowed to enjoy it and want things for yourself and want to feel supported, and you're allowed to expect that the same energy that you give to other people is reciprocated or returned. And drawing this boundary, which I think really is the next big win for you, being able to draw this boundary and say, I'm not going to do everything for you at detriment for myself. This, I think, is very difficult for you with this Three of Swords here. This is a difficult thing for you to do because you have this fear of feeling like you are disappointing someone. And I think that's why you have been really hesitant to kind of set these boundaries. But the truth is, you cannot set a boundary with someone while also holding their hand and comforting them about having to deal with the boundary you set. So will someone be upset about you setting this boundary? Yes, maybe. But this fear that you have is ultimately going to, once it manifests, once someone is upset with you because you won't overextend yourself for them, I think it allows you to reevaluate what kind of relationship you have with this person. I think that this is really a win for you, not only because you get to receive some of the energy back into yourself that you have been extending towards other people, but also you get to recognize all the ways in which you deserve better from the people around you, from the situations around you. And with both the High Priestess and the Hermit, these are two very spiritual cards back to back, so it does feel almost like a spiritual awakening. I think this is a very big, important lesson that you have had to learn in your life, and it does feel like you will be learning it soon. And I think that ultimately it's a very good thing for you, and that's represented by this pile marker that you selected, the Six of Swords. And if you look at this card in the bottom corner here, the waters are kind of rough and choppy, but they're sailing towards the smoother water. So you're moving out of this feeling of resentment, this feeling of inner turmoil, and you're moving into something more calm where you can take a step back and say, you can be upset that I am not helping you, or I'm not going to do this for you. I'm not going to coddle you. I can't be there for you 24/7, but I have to be there for myself because I'm always going to be there with me. I don't really have a choice, and I need to take care of myself, or I can't really take care of other people because I can feel my resentment building. I can feel myself not enjoying taking care of people anymore because it's emotionally painful to feel like nothing you do is reciprocated or appreciated. So your first goddess guidance card is Mary Magdalene, Unconditional Love, which says, love yourself, others, in every situation, no matter what the outward appearances may be. And this is really the message of this pile, is learning how to love yourself and extend the love that you have for others toward yourself. That is your next win. The second goddess guidance card in your pile is Green Terra, which says, start delegating. Ask others, including me, to help you instead of trying to do everything by yourself. So what did I say? I feel like the people in this pile are really very generous and affectionate, and they try to do everything for the people around them. They try to be this emotional receptacle. They try to do all of these acts of service. They try to take care of everything for the people around them. And the truth is, you don't have to do that. You can ask other people for help. I feel like maybe the people in this pile definitely have a hard time asking other people for help. Maybe you were shamed for that as a child, and so you feel like it's better if you take care of everything yourself. But you're allowed to take a break. You're allowed to accept gifts, accept time, accept effort from the people around you, because you are certainly giving that to them. And I definitely see that happening for you. I see this transition and this mindset and this deciding to take your energy back, deciding to set healthy boundaries in the near future for you. So congratulations, my pile 2. That is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 3, the Wheel of Fortune, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are the 3 of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups in reverse, the 10 of Wands in reverse, the 5 of Pentacles in reverse, and Justice. For your Goddess Guidance cards, we got Lakshmi and Kali. All right, my pile 3, so what is your next big win? We start off your spread with this 3 of Pentacles. And so immediately what I'm hearing is that there is some kind of relationship in your life that you have with a person, not necessarily romantic, although it could be, where it's something that you've been working on for a while, either because you don't really have a choice of having to be around this person. For example, it could be a coworker, a boss, it could be a family member, it could be someone who's in your friend group, or it could be someone that you just have a long history with that you really wanted to make your relationship with them work. But you've definitely been through trials with this person. It feels like no matter what you try, you can't please this person. And the reason why I say that is because this person's being represented by this Queen of Cups in reverse. So this person could be a water sign, specifically Cancer, but could also be Scorpio or Pisces, or they could have a prominent water sign in their natal chart, so Moon, Rising, or Venus. But the Queen of Cups in reverse is someone who can be pretty emotionally manipulative, or they can really overreact to situations, or dealing with their emotions, managing their emotions is really difficult because of these overreactions. So for example, let's say that this is a coworker or a boss. Let's say that you make a simple mistake at work. You print out the wrong pages for a meeting. This person might really blow up on you or over-exaggerate the mistake or try to make you feel really guilty about it. If this is a relationship with a family member, it could be someone that you just can never please. They are always disappointed by you, whatever you do, even when you're trying your best to be filling that role that they want you to be in. If it's in a romantic situation, it's someone who just overreacts, or they pick fights with you. They're overly jealous. They can be emotionally manipulative. If it's a friendship, same thing. You know, it's just someone in your life who you feel like you could react with them normally, and then they have a big reaction to almost anything you do, and then you feel like you almost have to end up apologizing and managing their emotions. This really gives me, for some of you, you might have been in a relationship with someone where, let's say you got into like a fight about something. Maybe they did something to you. You asked them not to do something, they ended up doing it, and then you were like, hey, I really don't like that you did this thing. And then they were like, oh, you're right, I'm the worst person in the world. I don't know why you even put up with me. You know, they kind of go overboard on that kind of like rhetoric, which is designed to make you want to be like, no, you're not that bad. And then suddenly you're comforting them for the mistake that they made that hurt you. And that's just one scenario that this could be, but this is kind of the vibe of what this person has. And because of that, you have been really carrying a huge emotional burden in your connection, in your relationship with this person. That's evidenced by this 10 of Wands. So 10 of Wands upright is a card of feeling burden, of feeling like you have to carry everything by yourself, of feeling like you're putting in a ton of effort and the finish line is always just out of reach. The level of victory is always just out of reach. It feels like you take 10 steps forward with this person and then you move 11 steps back. You know what I mean? Like, there's just really no winning in this relationship, no matter how much effort you put in, no matter how much patience you give. But the good news is that this 10 of Wands was in reverse. So there's this feeling of coming out of this feeling of responsibility for managing this person's emotions, reactions, for trying to quell this person's bad behavior or trying to impress them or trying to be the person that they want you to be, because I feel like for this pile, there's a realization that you can do anything in your power and it still won't be enough for this person. And instead of stressing yourself out and letting that chip away at your self-confidence, you can decide to say, okay, I am not going to be the only one who's doing self-reflection, who's trying to make this work, who's trying to move past this. And so you're letting go of this feeling of being burdened by your relationship with this person. And the next card in your spread is this Five of Pentacles in reverse. Five of Pentacles upright is a card of disproportionate giving. It's a card of lack. It's a card of instability. It's a card of feeling like you're not getting what you put out. You're not receiving any benefits from the things that you're doing from this. And in reverse, it also indicates a feeling of overcoming this. So you are overcoming this feeling of being burdened by your relationship with this person. You are overcoming feeling like you are being left out in the cold. You are overcoming this feeling of emotional instability, of feeling like there's nothing you can do to please this person, to make this situation work. And how are you doing that? We have the Justice card as the last card in your spread. And Justice is really a karmic card. So this is about all of this effort that you've been putting into this relationship, all the good deeds that you put out, all of the emotional management that you put out has only made you stronger as a person. It has made you more attractive. It has made you more empathetic. It has made you more keen of emotional manipulation. More keenly aware of emotional manipulation. And Justice also indicates that maybe this person receives their comeuppance, so maybe they have a moment of realization that their behavior actually isn't okay. Maybe they decide to start working on themselves. Maybe they apologize to you. Maybe they remove themselves from your life. Maybe they get a taste of their own medicine. Justice is really, karma comes in several different ways. But the real takeaway from this for me is that for this pile, you are moving on from feeling responsible for fixing this situation that you cannot fix. And that's a really powerful place to be in. And you will receive, your rewards. You will receive the gift from the universe of being able to establish that, no, I'm not putting up with this anymore. So this is all also represented in the pile marker that you selected, this Wheel of Fortune, which is about turning things around, coming into luck. So you're stepping away from the Ten of Wands, the feeling of being burdened, the Five of Pentacles, the feeling of instability, the feeling of being left out in the cold, the feeling of abandonment, of never getting what you want from this person, of never feeling solid in your relationship with them. You are turning that around by saying, actually, I'm not going to put up with that anymore because I don't have to. You're fine by yourself. And ultimately, you will get what you deserve, which is someone who does self-reflection, who is willing to compromise, who is willing to express their emotions in a more mature manner with you than this person. You will be receiving your justice, and so will this person who has been taking advantage of you, emotionally manipulating you, making you feel small, and you will be on top after feeling like you've been on the bottom in so many situations that you've had with this person. So your first guidance card is Lakshmi, which says bright future. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. Pretty self-explanatory. Stop worrying about this situation. Stop stressing yourself out about this person because ultimately you will be fine. Things will work out in the end because you have a solid sense of self. You have a desire to make sure that other people are okay, but you also need to recognize the ways in which you cannot change people. You cannot force people to change. No amount of begging will cause someone to treat you better. And so the best thing to do is show people through your actions what you will and will not tolerate, which I think is the next big win in your life, is you're stepping away from saying, okay, I'm going to take responsibility for your emotions, for your reactions, for the things that you need. So your second goddess guidance card is Kali, which has endings and beginnings. The old must be released so that the new can enter. And again, you're releasing this feeling of responsibility for this person, of feeling like you will never receive what you want from this person. You're letting that go and you're stepping into this fair, balanced energy of justice. This reading is very similar to the reading for pile 2, I think. So if you felt drawn to pile 2 also, you might find something in there that also resonates with you. But overall, I would say this is really about setting boundaries with a specific person in your life and learning that you will be fine on your own, and you can't please everyone. You can't change this person's behavior, but you can make your life easier, and you can decide how you will accept being treated. And that is a big win in your life. All right, my pile 3s, that is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care. If you selected pile 4, the 6 of Wands, welcome to your reading. Your tarot cards are Temperance, the Chariot, the 7 of Cups, the 7 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Cups. For your goddess guidance cards, we got Isis and Abundantia. All right, my pile 4. So what is your next win, your next achievement, your next accomplishment? What's going on? We start off your spread with Temperance, and immediately what I'm hearing is that recently your life has not been bad. You haven't had really anything terrible going on, but it's also not particularly exciting. Temperance is very middle of the road, and while it can be nice to have calm if you're used to more turmoil in your environment, in your life, eventually it can start to feel stagnant, or it can start to feel like you're missing out on things. And I feel like for some of you, you might be getting a little bit antsy, being like, okay, what's next? Like, everything's fine now, but where am I going to grow? Where am I going to achieve new things? Where am I going to create more abundance in my life? And this attitude of pushing forward into something new is represented in this Chariot card that's next in your spread. So for a lot of you, you could be Cancers or have a prominent Cancer placement in your natal chart, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. But Chariot is really about really deciding what you want and going after it and carving out your own path. So instead of waiting for something interesting or exciting to happen in your life, you are taking charge and deciding, okay, what is it that I want to make happen for myself? Because with the 7 of Cups in the middle of your spread, a lot of the people watching this pile are daydreamers. Maybe you have ideas about activities that you'd like to do in the future. Maybe you think, I would love to join a cooking class one day. I would love to go back to school. I would love to work in this field. I would love to start a YouTube channel. I would love to get a haircut. Anything really. But I get the sense that a lot of people in this pile have these fantasies of their ideal life or activities that they will do in some distant future that they kind of continuously put off because it doesn't feel like the time is right yet. And that's echoed by the 7 of Pentacles, which is a card about feeling like there's potential for something to be available for you in the future, but it's just not quite ready yet. You still have to wait. And the truth is that these things that you fantasize about, these things that you want for yourself, are not things that will just naturally feel like there's a right time for. So, for example, let's say you really want to take a cooking class, like my past example. You've been thinking it would be really nice if I had kind of a community thing where I could go and learn a new skill and make friends, and that would be really nice, but I don't feel like I have time right now, or maybe I'll look for classes later because I have to do this, and then you just kind of keep pushing it off, or maybe you're just kind of scared of putting yourself out there and trying something new, and because of that, you keep delaying this thing that you know you want because not putting in the effort towards making it happen for yourself is allowing you to not faced with disappointment if it doesn't work out. And I'm not saying that the people here are avoiding taking responsibility for their life, because being represented by the Chariot energy, this is a very self-driven and self-motivated card. I'm just saying that sometimes it's easy to not prioritize the things that are fun for yourself, because this really feels like, the fantasy of what your life could be, the things that you would find emotionally fulfilling versus maybe the responsibilities that you have to take care of now. So if you feel like I'm swamped by all this other stuff, it's easy to push aside these things that are more for self-development or emotional fulfillment. But the next win in your life is you saying, no, I can choose to put those in my life now. I can choose to enjoy things now. I can choose to create these new experiences for myself now. I don't have to wait until I meet some magical requirement or a magical deadline. And I just heard that for some of you, you might feel this way about dating, for example. So for some of you might feel like I need to do X, Y, and Z before I can date someone. And that might be, I need to become more financially stable. I need to go to therapy. I need to change my looks, which I do not think anyone needs to change the way that they look in order to date someone. I think that the person who is meant for you will like you as you are and doesn't expect you to change who you are. But I know that's a feeling that a lot of people have, like, I need to improve myself in X, Y, and Z way, or I can't do this, or I won't feel comfortable doing this. And so it feels like there's a lot of fantasy, but a lot of also feeling like you're not quite ready to make that happen. But soon you will be entering into the Chariot mindset of actually, yeah, I can decide to make this happen for myself. I can get into a situation in my life where I am working on the thing that will improve my sense of self, that will make me happier, that will make me feel more fulfilled, that will give me good memories, that will be fun for me. And that is all represented by the last card in the spread, which is this Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment. So it's these wishes, the Seven of Cups, things that you've been daydreaming about, the Seven of Pentacles, things that you've been waiting to come into fruition or waiting for the right time to feel like you can have them in your life. You are going to say, actually, I want them now, and you're going to make that come true for yourself. So if you have been kind of debating whether or not you should try doing something, this is a sign for you to start, because it will work out for you. And I think you will be very happy with the results of what you can make when you put your mind towards something, because the people in this pile are very powerful, driven people. And this is all encapsulated in the pile marker that you selected, the Six of Wands, which is a card that is about victory. And it's about celebration and being recognized for the efforts that you've put in. So again, once you make these things that you have been daydreaming about, these things that you've been fantasizing about, you go from Temperance, this feeling of being very even, it's fine, but not super exciting, to the Six of Wands feeling of celebration, to this Nine of Cups feeling of wishes coming true. And with your first goddess guidance card, we have Isis, which says past life. This situation involves your past life memories. So I'm not getting so much like a literal past life. I think this is more related to the Seven of Cups, the things that you've been daydreaming about, the things that you fantasize about, the things that you want for yourself. I think that these wishes are probably things that you have carried with yourself for a long time, and the attitude that you have to meet certain requirements before you can get there is something that has consistently held you back. And it might be something that stems from your childhood that maybe you're working to overcome. I do get the sense that a lot of people in this pile are perfectionists, and so it kind of feels like I don't want to commit myself to something, or I don't want to do something unless I feel like I can do it 100% perfectly, which is not the way that people learn lessons and grow. Sometimes you have to make a mistake so you can learn from it and apply it to the next thing in your life. And that's a really healthy attitude to have. I know for me personally, I do have kind of perfectionist tendencies, and I don't like feeling like I have made a mistake, or I don't like feeling like I have disappointed myself, because I have very high standards for myself. But something that has helped me as I get older be able to let go of the feeling of disappointment or things not working out has been to see it as a learning lesson. So for example, like with a breakup, instead of deciding to dwell on it and thinking, clearly there's something wrong with me, whatever, instead of kind of turning into self-deprecation, I went, okay, the things that I learned from this relationship that didn't work is the things that I need to do to improve my emotional availability, the things that I am no longer willing to accept in a relationship, and I can take those lessons with me forward and be better next time. And also, going through disappointment or emotional pain, going through a breakup, for example, opens you up to a whole new world of emotions. Like now I can watch movies about breakup or hear songs about breakup, and I hear things in them, or I relate to them on a way that I couldn't before. And it's really beautiful to be able to tap into new areas of like emotions in the human experience. I think just being appreciative for the lessons that you have learned and the ways that it has colored you and shaped you is a really good way of being able to let go of that fear of not living up to your own standards and deciding instead, okay, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go after the thing that I've been thinking about anyway. And if I fail, it's just a learning experience on the way to achieving the thing that I really want. Your second goddess guidance card is Abundancia, prosperity, which says the universe is pouring its abundance out to you. Be open to receiving. So this goes with the 9 of Cups, in my opinion. This wish fulfillment, these things that you've been dreaming about, the things that you want for yourself, the universe wants to give to you. You just have to reach out and grab it, claim it for yourself now. And I see that as the next big win in your life is being able to make these dreams of yours come into reality and being able to celebrate them and feeling victorious in that regard. So congratulations, my pile of fours. That is it for your reading. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I put out a new video once a week. Thank you. Take care.